everyone, and welcome back to the Proving Grounds Pod, your one-stop shop for all things Proving Grounds. My name is Smax, and I'm joined by my constant co-host, Cubby. And today, on episode 38, had to check my notes there real quick, we've got Perry with us, the current jungler for Evil Geniuses Prodigies. Perry, welcome. We're super excited to talk to you, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Things are going pretty good for me, so yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
So for anyone that is catching this, I guess recording of it, we are sitting down during the LCS Lock-in tournament, but it's a good day and a good time to catch up with our amateur friends, as of course their games this week were Wednesday, Thursday, now shifting to Monday, Tuesday, with Academy kicking off next week as well. And glad we get to join you for the early season, as it's been a pretty crazy early season, Perry. You've been a part of some of the ups and the downs of that, but overall, this also is your first split competing in the Proving Grounds circuit. You're with EGP as well. How's that all been for you, this new experience kind of kicking off?
I mean, I've played UPL over the past years, and I'll tell you something, it's a big shift in team environment.
Yeah.
At the same time, amateur is amateur. They're the players you're playing against are very, very much similar. The teammates, like, you know them. It's different. It's definitely a different environment, but same at the same time. So.
It's even the same org running it as well for Unified, as we've kicking things off too. Yeah. It's always fun. You got to get Garrett Meyerson in there for everything. He's got to be a part of it, But yeah, I really like what you're saying here about, like, all the players are involved from amateur, because it really does feel like that has been true for the beginning of everything. We had the 32 open qualifier teams and everything. A lot of new faces and new players to the scene. How has that sort of shift gone for you as one of those people who is one of the newer faces? Like, is it fun seeing all these people, like, come up together in a way? Like, most notably Dare, I think. Like, yeah, all those guys are really new as well.
Yeah. I mean, being one of the, like, newer rookies too, it's like, I kind of want to be ahead of them. Like, I don't want to be, like, grouped in with them, as that kind of feel. At the same time, it's like, looking at it realistically, this is my first split. Like, I've only played in, like, some UPL matches and scouting grounds. Like, I haven't really played anything. So, and it's exciting though. Like, definitely seeing all these players and playing with them and against them. Like, I've never experienced this kind of feeling.
Yeah. So that's actually kind of, I mean, obviously asking about EGP is huge, but kind of like where I want to start things off earlier on with you just playing competitive, right? Scouting grounds is really your first exposure to the competitive scene. And before that, like, what went into you, like, your decision? Obviously, it is a decision to start pursuing this game. What's, like, your background on the ladder, and, like, what for you is kind of the motivation to pursue going pro in the first place?
Yeah, so I think it started back in S9 when I hit Grandmaster. I was playing Kayn, just a Kayn one trick, Kayn was just broken, so yeah, I hit Grandmaster, and then next season, wasn't anything big there. Next season, season 10, I hit Challenger on Kayn. And I kept playing Kayn. I had the idea maybe I could go pro. Didn't really pursue it. And it was the start of season 11 where amateur kind of began. It was when Wildcard had their first sort of teams and stuff. And I met coaches and talked to people here and there. And I didn't really get much from it, to be honest. I got exposed to what competitive league could be, but I was still a Kayn player. I was still just playing Kayn a bunch. It was until I kind of was left from Wildcard. I left Wildcard. I wasn't really sure what to do. Maybe looking at AoE. Maybe trying to play the next UPL split. It was actually until my friend Manui from Wildcard introduced me to a group of friends that had Draxer, the current EG, like, he's part of EG right now. And that's, like, he pretty much jump started my learning from there, and
that's where my path crossed with you for the first time, right? Because I added you after a solo queue game where I got carried by Perry's Graves bot after getting smashed by somehow going up against closer mid, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was the crawl closer account. I remember this game a lot because I was like, oh god, like, I haven't played solo queue in a long ass time, and I'm getting autofilled mid against closer. And I was like, oh, dude, like, thanks for the carry, like, man, your account was coached by Draxer or something.
It was Church of Draxer.
Yes, it was Church of Draxer, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, who is this? And it's like, oh, it's Perry. I was like, oh, cool. It was like, thanks, man. Like, good game. Like, I'm feel like seeing you around because I figured like anyone like getting coached by Draxer is like trying to kind of move up to the next level. And so that was my first exposure to you, which is like kind of funny too. I find it kind of funny. But yeah, so you went from that to qualifying for Scouting Grounds through solo queue.
Yeah.
What was it like for you kind of walking into that like environment? Obviously it was remote, but that is like really, players getting, I don't want to say thrown to the wolves, but you are getting the full exposure in this case of like what it's like working a part of, because I mean, LCS orgs are helping out all the coaching for all this, right?
Yeah.
So what was that initial experience like?
It was definitely a grinding like schedule. It was like wake up at 10, start talking about draft, start talking about league, and until 6 you're just playing league. You're just doing league the whole day. It was quite enjoyable at the same time. It's like had that I only have a week. It's like we don't have much time. We gotta get as much as we can, and we gotta win. But it really showed me what going pro could feel like, and for me, I enjoyed it. Getting exposed to the actual LCS coaches was really fun too. I'm pretty sure we were the most understaffed group though. Like a lot of internal changes with C9 and TSM were happening with the staff, so we didn't really have anyone working with us. It was like one person for the whole time. So, but yeah.
I actually didn't think about that with all the C9 stuff going on. That was probably a little bit more difficult than usual for them. But
right.
Yeah, it was still a really fun event to watch. Cubby and I, we got the connections. We got to watch some of the games that were before the beginning of the stream, so that was really fun. Some of those were just really, really sick, and I don't know if this is like mean to say. I wish the XU could have been there as well. I know he was there, but
yeah,
I'm sorry to silly, but
I mean, he was around, but it's kind of unfortunate.
So something from that that I learned too, because obviously like we talk with some people around the scene. You being that's your first exposure to like a lot of the teams, and I know that the first impression that I heard about you was like, this guy's way smarter than a solo queue player, and his hands are like not where I'd expect for like a solo queue player as well, right? So what like kind of went into your thought and like development? Obviously, I mean, having some formalized coaching before getting exposed to pro orgs like helps, but what kind of like went into before that, like you building up your mindset and thought process like about the game and like how it's played, like from your position, like how you think it should be played at that as well?
I think some part of it is from my history of what I've done in the past. I've done Kung Fu for around 11 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
the martial art, Kung Fu.
So what belt do you have then? Like, where are you at?
Well, technically I'm black belt. Like my Shibu can deem me as a black belt.
Wow.
But I actually pursued a different form that no one else does. Like I'm extremely flexible. I don't know if you guys have probably seen like some of the clips, or I know on the Scouting Grounds podcast I put my leg over my head.
Yeah, no,
so.
Drew knows there has competition. That's all I learned. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it comes from that sort of discipline.
Okay.
I mean it's just a repetitive grind. I pretty much spent 2 years perfecting that form where I'd be in the corner of the class doing that by myself.
Wow.
While everyone else was learning other stuff. So
that's really cool. Are you like an MMA fan then?
No.
Okay. I was wondering because like UFC, of course, it's like some people come from different backgrounds. So like you have people that are like kickboxers originally, like they learn it all. But okay, that's really interesting actually. So how's that like kind of factor into your view of League or like the learning process like for you when it comes to League?
Yeah, I mean I know that like everything is a grind. If you're trying to learn, a specific clear or a specific champion, it's just all about the grind, and you just can't stop until you hit that point of I know how to do what I'm trying to learn. yeah, I mean that's pretty much like the biggest thing it's helped me with. I mean, also it's like things don't come as easily as people think they should.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
What is one thing that grinding Kane has taught you over other champions? What's specific about Kane?
That champion is a little bit unfair compared to the others. Like the current meta, Xin Zhao, Lee Sin, like Viego, Kane just goes through walls. His ult pretty much saves him no matter what. I pretty much feel invincible when I'm on Kane. So if anything, it's actually negatively affect me coming into competitive, being a Kane one trick. I've had to really learn how to not fight with the idea that I'm invincible. So yeah.
I don't have all the mobility. I can't go invulnerable. I can't go over walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
so
much,
what you're saying is you've learned more about the game playing anything except for Kane, rather than just playing Kane.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
People
funny. Joke about it, but being a Kane one trick and challenger is actually it actually feels like I'm actually diamond if I'm off Kane. Like being back then, but yeah, it's a big difference. Kane is just exceptionally OP. So
trust me, man. Try grinding rank when you can only play like 4 games a day. That's how I feel every game.
maybe you should play Kane then, Cubby. From what I'm hearing, maybe that'd be the superpower.
I'm gonna stick to Braum. I do not have a kung fu background, and I have no hands.
Well, gotta learn sometime. How long have you been playing League of Legends? Like, was it a steady climb up to Grandmaster Challenger, or did you pick it up recently?
It was, I guess, what you call a steady grind. I played back in season 3. Didn't really play. It's more like watching my brother, joining in here and there. Back when I was, Hearts like Bronze 5. I think I was there for 2 seasons. Just a little kid playing League, trying to be like my brother. I think that's what really helped me climb throughout all the seasons. My brother's friends were always like Diamond, and Halo. So
older, I assume.
Yeah, 3 years older.
Okay,
3 years older.
Cool.
So yeah.
Gotcha.
When
did you first surpass your brother in rank?
That was actually really early on. He wasn't the one that was high though. It was always my brother's friends.
Little brothers are too OP, man. We've been talking a lot about family. Of course, our last episode was with Sniper, so that's a lot of family to talk about there, and little brothers too. But it's interesting like how all that kind of factors into the competitive drive and being like, hey, like, I'm gonna learn from people older than me. Like I have to pick up more faster, and you gotta. There's always like that mental edge where it's like, you're a little brother and you're like, I can do this. Like, I think I can beat him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to beat him. Like, it needs to be there. So yeah.
Did you play any other games with him that you're competitive with?
For whatever reason, Minecraft. It's not a competitive game, but when the PvP comes around, when you're fighting people, even like building, like not building like creative like fun structures, it's more like fighting building. I don't know, I've always been competitive in that, so
nice.
Yeah.
So Fortnite.
Yeah, you can make any game competitive.
I mean,
really,
pretty much,
yeah. I guess it is kind of Fortnite now that you mention it.
I mean, funny enough, my first like big Twitch Rivals tournament, for League of Legends, I was playing League of Legends, but they had other games in the Twitch Rivals tournament, like 5 games total.
Oh yeah.
And the last game was Minecraft, and
how'd that work?
every single pretty much, I think there was 5 different games. Golf with Friends, a shooter game, League of Legends, and one other game. And pretty much you get points.
Yeah.
Depending on what you place, there's 4 total teams, and every single team was really close points. Like anyone who wins the Minecraft would win the whole thing, and I was playing the Minecraft portion, and I won. So pretty much, I won Twitch Rivals for my team.
What was the strat?
Minecraft.
I do not. I do not follow Twitch Rivals unless it's like only League, right? So like I have no like. Was it like Hunger Games almost or what?
It's pretty much TNT run where like you run around and then the blocks below you fall.
Okay.
Oh.
And you just have to stay on the top layer and try to survive while everyone else is dying. So pretty much my movement was just I'm just jumping around while everyone else is falling down.
Yeah, the Kane movement.
I mean, yeah.
Kane does require movement. Yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah.
That's like the what is it, like the Counter-Strike like gliding things, you know what I'm talking about? Is that the right game for it? Or maybe it was like Gary's mod or something?
Oh, the glides, yeah. That I think that was it was in CS. It was Gmod. They make it like in CS Source.
Yeah.
Where you can do like all like the glide runs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta get the movement down.
The Quake mechanics. We're getting real old school now. Yeah.
Oh, I would not know.
Perry, how old are you again?
I'm 17.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we sure were alive when the GameCube. Sniper was born after the GameCube, and that really got me. You're good at 17.
I think he's younger
Same
than
year.
the GameCube as well.
I think it's the same year. It was 2005. GameCube came out. No?
Oh, maybe.
Oh no, that'd be late. I was playing GameCube before that. God damn it. Okay, never mind.
I don't know, man.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, moving on.
we need to start interviewing some old men to make up for this.
When do you get a coach next?
I'm sorry, Perry. I'm sorry, but anyway, getting back into League. Yeah. So you've been playing for quite a while. Yeah. That would make your start like when you were what, like 9, 8?
I think it was like 7 around then.
Oh,
like, yeah, 7, 8.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Did you play jungle the entire time? Like, did you know from the get-go that this would be the role?
No, I had no idea. I played every single role at one point. I was Yasuo main. I was playing like Warwick jungle. I actually became a support main when I first hit Diamond. I played like Bard, Alistar, Tahm Kench, weird stuff.
Nice.
You're speaking our language now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was actually when Harris streamed a bunch. That's when I actually first started climbing and started playing Kayn. I just watched hours of Karismai.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we got the inspiration for where you are now, Karismai. Big shout out right there. It led you to Scouting Grounds. It led you to Evil Geniuses. Yeah, it's all on him, right?
Some part of it. I mean, in reality, Challenger was from him. So.
Nice, sweet. So getting on to Evil Geniuses now, we watched you play at Scouting Grounds, and before that as well on the wildcard team and other pickup teams for Unified, right? The upsurge and everything. How long into that off season did you know that you were going to like go with Evil Geniuses? Because I know that like for an amateur player, getting on EG or 100 Thieves Next, that's like the main goal, I feel like, for everybody for the off season.
Yeah. So there were 3 teams that I was looking at, and pretty much 3 junglers. There was EG, 100, and Dig Academy actually. And I was looking at all 3 of those teams, and there were 3 junglers that were pretty much in the air, interchangeable within those teams. Pretty much, unless something really, really weird happened, I would have been on either EG or 100, like either way. But I mean, with that in mind, like I wasn't too scared, but at the same time, you know, if I wasn't going either EG or 100, I wasn't really sure where I would go for the season. Probably would have ended up with Manui again, because we've been playing almost every single split together.
Mm-hmm.
Unified or not. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a bit of an uncertainty until it was finally decided that I was a jungler. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, that makes sense. I know like the off season for some of those guys were it was getting a little deep. I know Cubby and I have definitely been memeing on Twitter before Dig Academy got announced, of course, how long it was taking them to actually like announce everything. That was definitely a fun time. So getting on to Evil Geniuses and everything, how did you feel like? What drew you to this team? Like, were the other members already locked in? Like, what is it about Evil Geniuses that makes you want to be on this team?
So Evil Geniuses, I mean, it's a LCS affiliated amateur team. Like, that's like the biggest thing, you know. It's a pipeline pretty much in a way. Yeah. I get to work with EG staff as well. Like, they can always help. But then as for the teammates, pretty much there was constant talk about who the teammates would be, who my mid laner would be, top laner would be. I don't think anyone was necessarily confirmed other than our support, Daption. Everything else was up in the air until we started pushing for who we wanted. Pretty much it was me and Adaption trying to push for the rest of our team, and eventually they just said, okay, we'll get these guys, because they were obviously part of the tryouts. They were obviously like there throughout everything, and pretty much got what we wanted at the end of the day for our
Nice.
ideal roster as a team. So yeah,
Ended up being all the AoE guys.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So now that you're in like the system and everything, like what's been the impact like on your game, or like that you've seen from kind of being a part of something that like has this much investment, like from a coaching staff? Like how has that kind of changed things for you and like in your play, and also like how you work with the team, or like how they just work with the team? Like what's the impact been for you so far?
I think it definitely feels really good to have not just like one or two, but a lot of staff, a lot of coaches, and I mean a lot of tools there for us to use. I mean, that being there is a big change as to before, where you only have like one coach or maybe not even any coaches. I mean, being able to talk about like mental, even like health, like gaming health, all of this stuff, like they're all there, and I mean it's up to me to use those people and help myself, but just it all being there is like really soothing to the mind, I guess. Like it just makes me feel a little more relaxed that I have more there for me, I guess.
So, who have you interacted with most on the EG staff so far?
Obviously, the EGP coach, but there's the fitness, like not doctor, the health doctor. I think her name is Gamer Doc on Twitter and stuff like that. But she's helped me around, about what I should how I should deal, because I pretty much have cold hands a lot of the time, and have other problems like sleeping and here and there and stuff like that, and she's helped me out with that. Yeah, that's pretty much the main help I've gotten.
I see. You mentioned before we went live that you live in LA. Have you gotten the chance to like meet anybody in person yet? Because I know that. Well, I think a lot of the EG people are in Seattle, but like the LCS people are in LA as well, of course.
Yeah, no, I think everyone is kind of still concerned about COVID.
Right. Yeah.
I actually got COVID, so this whole qualifier I have been playing with COVID. It hasn't been too great, but yeah. I think when COVID's over, though, I definitely have a chance to not only meet the EG people, but as long as it's allowed to meet the other orgs, because I'm back at scouting grounds, they were interested in meeting me too.
Yeah.
So definitely will be able to meet them.
I mean, it's like nice to be able to meet like competitors and like, because they're peers, right? Like most days when you just aren't facing them on the Rift, right? So yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, glad you're feeling good enough to hop on here, and hopefully you're feeling better from COVID overall. And I know that, I mean, for anyone watching this podcast at this time, you probably watch Proving Grounds. If you are tuning in and you haven't seen any of Proving Grounds, you should consider watching some more Proving Grounds. And you've already been playing a lot of games. You had OQs, where I believe you guys went 3-2, but one game was really close, or it was a 4-1. It was
4-1. It was 4-1.
Yeah. You guys 4-1. Dropping one game to AoE IMT, where Winston had himself a ball. Yeah. And then you guys dropped your first set to, I flipped the tweets last night, but I believe it was Winthrop or Dare. It was one of the other.
No,
no, that was the other
Taco Gaming.
That was
it
the
was Taco.
Yeah, it was Taco Gaming. Yeah, so Doc's a trickster. But still a couple games to come back in that series. And I believe that group is you and or you have to win the next two best of threes pretty much to make it into the bracket stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's correct.
But yeah, so far, like, I know that you guys didn't have a ton of practice time, but like, how have you felt about like the games so far, and like kind of how you guys are doing?
I think for that specific like what is it, group match, the best of three, I think a lot of us were not really playing how we should be playing. I'm not sure how to really explain it, but it didn't feel like we were playing League of Legends, if that made sense. I'm not sure if it was like stress or anything, but I think the easiest fix is to play League of Legends. I don't know if it was just me, but I didn't feel like I was playing the game at all. Like the whole 3 sets, I was thinking too hard. I was trying to play some other type of League of Legends. I really felt like I wasn't myself at the time. So I think as we progress, we have a lot of time to scrim now. A lot more things to think about. I think our first tournament might not go as we want, but over time, I think that just is how we're gonna be to grow. And it might take a little bit more time for EG to for our roster to get better. So
yeah, it is a lot of days in a row that you guys had to play as well. Of course, you had the Wednesday off, but 5 games all to get into the tournament on Monday, Tuesday, and then that one as well. Really hard fought games as well. Yeah, I think that's bound to happen, right? You got a lot of guys who are all coming together from different places. What's up, Cubby?
Oh, I was about to say, like, and to be fair, Proving Grounds has been a freaking bar fight so far, right?
Yeah.
You guys are not old enough to be in a bar. It's been a fist fight in the playground so far. So it's been pretty wild. Like, you are not the only team to go down. GGA's dropped a game. Yeah, 100 Thieves dropped a game, right, in that best of 3.
IMT also lost.
Yeah, so it's been pretty wild, which we do somewhat expect in start of the season with teams, not having a ton of time so far to practice, as you've mentioned. But yeah. I don't know, it's been fun. Like, are you surprised that like a lot of these teams are dropping games, like yourself included? Do you think like with more practice time, like that'll slow down, or you kind of expect like, do you think that there are a lot of good teams like outside of just you guys that are playing in Proving Grounds this year?
I think this is my take. I think my friends disagree, but I think that as a whole, like all of amateur and all of these players together are actually slowly improving. And I think that the gap between 100 or GGA or any of these teams is not as big as people see it to be. At the same time, I do think that with more time, the gap that has now been closed will reopen.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that right now, things have kind of closed in, and it's closer than people think it should be, and that's my take on how it is right now.
I think the results definitely reflect that as well. I think you're definitely onto something. Everyone's trying to figure out the communication of everything and how to play with every team of new 5 players, because down here in amateur there's not a lot of retention for the same 5 players playing together all the time. I think the most we got was 3/5 of the Zoos roster playing on wildcard, but even then Pocus is playing now for a support. So it's all everywhere. So a lot of new players, a lot of new faces, all coming together. What has been the player that you've watched that you have been like most impressed by outside of the guys who have played for a while and like played all in Proving Grounds last year?
Obviously there's Sniper, who's like here. Like that's like a given. He's performing exceptionally well. Being not having too much time to learn different champions and like get out of his comfort zone. He's pretty much has entered an entirely new field, I guess if you could say. Him performing is definitely like a wow. I guess I haven't paid too much attention, but they're red, like their whole team, their whole group. Limo has been around, I guess, and not around, but like Limo has been.
I expect you're familiar with Nemo, like given the same age, same elo.
Yeah. I've heard of him. I haven't really like I don't know too much about him though, but I guess like them actually taking down games on a lot of these teams is actually very, very impressive.
It went from being like should we be surprised to like maybe they've got some. Now I will say in OQs they did win 2 games where they were down a soul, which is pretty wild. So I don't know. Maybe they're just seeing team fights differently, and I would expect them to not get away with that as the season goes on, because I think the teams will get cleaner and clean stuff like that up. But they also did win a pretty solid best of 3 yesterday, so that was really impressive to watch too.
Yeah, I don't really know where things will go from here. This is the first tournament. A lot of these upsets are happening. I mean, the academy team realistically is losing a game to UCI. Like the whole series, they had a lot of trouble actually trying to take down UCI.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what it is, but maybe over time we'll see like what's actually happening. Maybe it's just luck. We never know. I guess I don't know.
Cinnamon Bread did take Golden Guardians to a game 3 last year too, so. Well, I already tweeted this, but I think Golden Guardians as an org just has a cinnamon allergy. I think that's what it is. It's just something.
Cinnamon Bread. I mean,
he's too good.
He's too good. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I actually really enjoyed watching Barrick in that series. I thought Barrick played really well.
Oh yeah. So,
yeah. For sure. So, with things progressing, and thinking around the entire year of 2022. What are your personal goals for improvement, where you want to end up by the end of the year, results as well that you're looking to achieve? What are you hoping to do as yourself for this year and by the end?
I think by the end of the year, no matter what, I'm going for academy. I think that's plenty of time. It's a long time actually to try and hit it. I was actually thinking of trying to join academy by a summer split, if it's possible at all. With teams changing, maybe I have a chance. But outside of that, maybe placing quite high in proving grounds is something I've thought about. I haven't really stressed too much about PG games, proving grounds games. I've mainly been thinking about solo queue. Actually, I really want to hit rank 1. It's a stretch. I peaked around like rank 30 last season, but I definitely think that it's possible. And I mean that's pretty much like my number 1 goal. I am trying to hit rank 1, and I will see it happen this year.
So something that we're talking about a lot for like the academy players on broadcast this year is kind of helping them define like what LCS ready would be for them. So I kind of want to ask you, like, what would you define for yourself as like kind of being academy ready? Like, what do you think you have to do to kind of up your play to be considered for a position like that, and be ready to hop into that next level?
Yeah, so I definitely think that there's a lot of consistency to no matter where you are, even an amateur. I think a lot of the time you're actually not losing to the enemy, you're losing to yourself in a way where you're making mistakes that should not be allowed at this level of play, I guess. You have to play at a place where you're consistent enough to pretty much not make mistakes. And I think academy is somewhere where I need to be able to play as consistent as possible. Everything is the same. I'm playing the same game over and over again. There's no real crazy things I'm doing. I need to figure out. I just need to figure that out pretty much. I think that's like my number 1 step for that, to be ready for academy, and I guess also being able to identify things faster, whatever it is, like where the position in fights, who my target is, where am I pathing to. A lot of this is kind of slow right now for me. Being faster at that, I guess, comes with consistency, but that would be definitely important thing for me to do.
Sounds like solo queue's pretty aligned with that. Then the best way to get reps right there. So makes a lot of sense to me. I know for Cubby and I think we've played a combined 20 games of solo queue so far. So
are you at 20?
I'm at 18.
I was going to give 18.
You the benefit of the doubt and to say you played 2, but
I played 2 ARAMs so far this season. It's been sick.
I've been busy, okay? The last 4 days have been unified. I haven't been able to do anything because I've just been watching you guys play and everything.
Yeah.
On the desks and stuff. So it's a good problem to have. I've been really enjoying it. How much how much NA gameplay are you planning on watching for this entire year? Because I know that's a question where you get very different answers from.
Yeah.
Are there like any other regions that you follow, like on top of NA? On top of that,
too.
Yeah. I think no matter what region I'm watching, I'm going to be watching a lot of pro play.
Mm-hmm.
I think majority has been LCK and LPL.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of LEC. NA. I mean, I personally don't like watching NA. I don't. I just like. I don't know what's really happening. I don't know. Like, I feel like. I guess that's not the best way to explain it. Maybe it's just like since I'm in NA, I want to watch POVs, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what it is. Maybe I'm just like biased because of everything that I hear about NA. I don't really know. But I do stay away from watching LCS. I don't really know why, but yeah, either way, I think over time I'll be watching a lot of pro play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been on the new hype train. Actually, I'm trying to become a salesman for LCK challengers.
Oh yeah.
So it's really interesting because it like feels like when I watch Academy here, like I felt like the meta in Academy for summer was actually ahead of where LCS was, and for challengers, it feels like they're testing out a lot of shit, which is really interesting. Like they played Syndra support. There's been a lot of Graves Tryndamere, which I guess has been like an LCK, but they dive a lot. Like, they actually dive a lot more than, like, what LCK teams do. Because I think that, like, where you were going with that is, like, I think what I was going to infer with you being a jungler is that LCS doesn't dive early enough like other regions do. And that's something that LCKCL actually did a little bit of when I felt appropriate. Like, they dove a Jinx through the lane, which I was like, hell yeah. So, yeah.
I guess that is a good way to put it. I think other regions are more proactive in that way.
Yes.
That's
the sentiment I feel as well. So yeah.
Yeah. It's more enjoyable to watch, not only, but I feel like I can also learn a lot more because, I mean, they're doing a lot more that I can learn from. That I can see, like, if they lose, if they win, what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. So.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean that you're going to bring proactiveness to North America and save us?
I mean, that is the style I like to play, but at my core, I guess I'm most comfortable at farming. I mean, it's just really easy to do, I guess. I don't really know. I come from playing Kayn, so at my core, farming is just easy for me.
Makes sense. We've been okay. Cubby and I disagree on this, so we need you to be the tiebreaker. On Hecarim, which item is better? Do you prefer the Manamune or do you prefer the Fimbulwinter? Which one do you like better?
I've not tried the Fimbulwinter, but I do think it depends if you're trying to do the most amount of damage or if you're trying to survive. Because now think about it, the Fimbulwinter would probably give you a lot of survivability in these fights. So if you're like primary tank, probably go for the Fimbulwinter, right? If you're like engaging and just trying to survive. Otherwise, Manamune is probably going to get you more wins in solo queue, specifically. And if you need to one-shot someone, I would go to Manamune.
All right. Well, Cubby, I don't think we got a tiebreaker here. I think he's playing.
Very political answer, Perry. I applaud you.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the Manamune. I'll give you guys that much. Personally, I like that.
So now the real question is, do you like that on any other champions? Because obviously it's a big piece of Kayn. But we did see it on Graves, played in some of the UGP games. Yeah, by Griffin.
Yeah, so what's happened is actually there's a player, he's IMT's jungler, Chad Jungle. He's the Graves guy, everyone knows. And he pretty much, him and Drax, pretty much he was talking with me and some of the people were there too. We pretty much were testing some Graves builds here and there. We're just showing each other some stuff, some damage, and we pretty much all kind of saw the same stuff. That Manamune actually gave you more damage on Graves. The raw AD you get from Manamune gave you more damage, and I love it. Like, I love Manamune on Graves. So from that, I pretty much took away hey, buy myself a Mana Immune second item on Graves, and I will one-shot people pretty much.
So giving credit where credit's due, but you're a fan, yeah.
I am a fan. Like I was there to see it happen. And it works well. Like getting that 80 on your Graves, you will pump. So
sweet. All right. I gotta admit, I did hear from Chad Jungle because I brought it to him as well because I know he's the Graves guy. I was like,
yeah.
Did you have a hand in this Griffin build? He's like, yeah, of course I did.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's like, yeah, duh. Like, he made it.
Pretty
like,
funny.
He invented it, so yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling, this is a Chad Jungle
Honestly,
thing to do.
I'd expect nothing less from you high schoolers than to all get up to copying homework. That's
it gets the job done. Hey, so it works.
Speaking
it's
of,
like a math proof, right? You just got to do it once, and then that's correct, right?
That's correct. Oh yeah, I figured it out. So
yeah. So speaking of math class, how have you been able to balance school and playing on the team now? Because you being 17, I assume you're still doing high school. I could be wrong, but how has that been going for you?
So actually, I took an early exit exam last year.
Oh. Okay.
So I was actually trying to get out of high school for a long time. I was trying to take this exam 2 years ago. Right now I would be a senior, but pretty much COVID happened and a lot of crazy stuff happened, so I couldn't take the test.
Right.
So pretty much it aligned with when I hit Challenger and when I was really trying to go pro, where I was able to take the test, and pretty much I'm just using this next year, my senior year, to fully pursue trying to go pro. And then even after that, I have another year to maybe look at still trying to go pro. So pretty much I'm no school for stuff,
yeah.
So, yeah.
I apologize for assuming that was my bad.
Normally I would be a senior right now. So yeah. That's really cool though. So you've known that you wanted to do this for a very long time. Then that's really sick. Yeah.
Dude. I don't actually know this. Do the other players on your Evil Geniuses team, are any of them like high school age as well? I don't actually know.
No, I don't believe so. I believe they're all like 20 or older. So.
Oh, okay. You're the Zoomer on the team.
I'm pretty much
resident Zoomer.
Very nice. That seems to be true for a lot of the junglers so far. We got Griffin on no team as well.
Griffin, oh yeah.
And Bluster. There's a lot of youngins.
Radiance. Although. 100 Thieves, and I think there's 3 other junglers I'm thinking of: Winston, Fnatic, and Griffin.
Griffin, a little bit older. Yeah,
all 3 of these guys have been around. So
yeah. Got both ends of
it.
Good
chance for you to learn from both. Speaking of learning, what are some of the things like we've talked about your new team, some of the coaches that on your team and kind of that impact? What are some of the things that you've picked up from the teammates around you so far when it comes to like these early games and practices?
I think a lot of us have different takes here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure if there's anything specific that we're learning. We're all kind of learning together, from coaches and whatnot. I guess there's a lot of times where in the games we don't help each other or agree with each other, if that kind of makes sense. There's a lot of, I think, trust that we're lacking together as a team. It's like someone will make a call and something will happen to where we're not following through with it, and I think that's a big issue with where we are right now as a team, and getting past that is very, very important for us as it stands. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we said this a bit before as well. Communication is just super, super important whenever you're bringing a new team together. I know we've gotten the chance to talk to Coach Ido as well about this, and he brought that up like a lot. I remember he made a reference to the I'm going to get into sports things, so Cubby, you probably have to take this away from me, but the coach of Duke basketball who
Coach
does
K.
the Olympic the Olympics basketball as well. Like, he doesn't do anything in NBA, but he's the guy that they call because he's really good at bringing new teams together and having them like know how to communicate with each other. Do you feel like secure knowing that's going to happen with Ido? Because I know he's a big proponent of that.
Well, sorry, could you ask that question again?
Ido's really good at building communication with teams.
Oh, right.
Has he helped you work with that yet?
Definitely. I definitely think that he's been trying to push us to like work together more like that. Not sure if we're the one, like I'm not really sure what it is. Otherwise, it definitely would have been solved. But we're struggling somewhere for sure.
Yeah, you know what? You said the
You got a
goal
whole
for
season together.
yeah, you got the season. You said the goal for you is consistency, and so get a chance to be like really like consistent moving on too, with like what you guys got going on. But anyway, I did want to ask. Of course, you do have the rest of PG ahead of you. You have Do you know who your next opponent is? I don't have the spreadsheet up, as I need to check. But it would be whoever else lost in your group.
It should be whoever lost to Maryville. I think that's Bay State, right?
Yeah, Bay State.
Oh no, it's
Dinka. It's Dinka's team.
Dinka's team, yeah.
My bad.
So you got Dinka's team ahead of you, and then potentially Maryville as well. I know that you talked like about some of your goals as a team, like moving forward, but what's it gonna take from like you and your team, you feel like, to kind of make sure that you're moving ahead and qualifying for the bracket stage of this tournament ahead of you?
I think there's a lot of, I'm not sure if it's sever trust or we need to build some trust. I think there's a lot of that aspect that we need to bring into the team together. I think there's also a lot of confidence every single individual player lacks at some point in time during the games. I think overall we're not really playing as a team. We're letting each other play our own games, which is fine, I guess. But at the same time, we're playing competitive. I feel like we should be more like a team. And I think fixing that will be our number one step. But at the same time, we gotta keep practicing, keep scrimming. A lot of the stuff that we're working on now will just take a lot of practice to fix. But I think once it's fixed, we're going to be seeing a lot more, a lot better results.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, we've talked a lot about your team dynamic right now and the players that are on your team. Let's jump right back into you for a second. I've got a very important question to ask you. Where did the name Perry come from, and was it the platypus?
Perry is actually my real name.
Oh.
It was that simple for me, so.
Easy.
All right. Well,
so, I mean, before I was, I called myself Ghostly Cat.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I played like that. That was my original name, Ghostly Cat, and then I decided, why not just go with my real name? I don't really know why. I guess I thought Ghostly Cat wasn't that great. So I was like, okay, I'll just go with Perry, and then I've just stuck with it. Yeah.
Have you been made fun of for the platypus your whole life?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I feel like
that was a great show.
Really good show.
Yeah,
I
watched
he's the most famous Perry though in the world probably. Are there any other famous people named Perry? I think it's just the platypus.
It's just Perry the platypus. Yeah.
I mean, probably, but Secret Agent P. That's all. Yeah, that's the blue cane, right? You're just Secret Agent P.
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll shift then. Where did Ghostly Cat come from? How did you make that name?
I've had cats all my life. I love cats. I have 2 cats right now.
Ooh.
And I was just brainstorming names. I'm like, what can I name myself? It's a new account. I need to name something. I love cats. Why not Ghostly Cat? It was pretty much just like, I'm going to add something cat. And then I said Ghostly Cat. All right, we're in.
Sam, you going to talk about cats now?
Yeah. What are your cats' names?
Oh, this is where it gets good. Rengar and Lulu.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. So pretty much
we have a kid named Victor. So yeah. League names.
Yeah. My brother named one of the cats Rengar, and then our parents, they don't play League. They don't know anything about League. They named the other cat Lulu. So it was like coincidentally
wow.
Lulu and Rengar. So yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Our other cat's name is not a League of Legends name. So we didn't have that. But his name is Pat. They do not like each other. They are
still.
Yes, they're pretty combative.
Oh no.
Yeah. But Victor's really young. He's only 3 months old, so I think he's gonna mellow out, and then they're gonna like each other later. But
yeah,
they're
in
very
it for the
different
long term,
personality types.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so cool because Sniper also has his pet is named Riven, so we have a lot of these
gosh,
names.
wow.
Yeah.
So
really
you can
funny.
only
What
come
a
on the
coincidence.
podcast in 2022 if you have a pet that is named after a lead character. You got to keep
You
the
better
streak.
get on that, Cubby. You're slacking.
No pets for me in my current situation. No, it's gonna be a while.
Oh, that's a bummer, Cubby. You're missing out on the cats.
Oh man,
They're so cute.
I had a dog named Sammy. She was the best. Pets are great, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's good to hear we got another cat lover. On the stream. That's great. I should have known from Ghostly Cat.
Ghostly Cat, yeah.
It's good to confirm. So, for other people who are like in solo queue right now, who might be Kane one tricks, might be one tricks of other champion, what advice would you give to them for making the transition from that, like being very skilled at one champion, to moving over to a competitive environment and trying to compete in that way?
I think a really important thing is not getting upset at, I guess, not making progress in a way where you're learning the game entirely differently from here on. Like it's pretty much a new game of League of Legends. At the same time, like you have to really push yourself to learn this new champion or this new playstyle or this new thing. I think like a big thing is you have to be okay with getting bored, if that makes sense. Because you're pretty much going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again until you can perfect it. And you just have to be okay with, getting bored here and there if it comes to that.
Yeah. So. That makes a lot of sense. Because like, as a jungler, like if you really like Kane, sometimes there's going to be metas where Sejuani's just the best champion in the game.
Right.
And that's just going to be a little bit boring.
Yeah.
I actually really like that. That's really good advice. Very sage,
honestly,
for a young 17-year-old like yourself.
Honestly, my joke about jungle, it was, oh god, whenever someone brings up like jungle champion pool, I'm always like, well, you only have to play 4 junglers every patch, so it's fine, right? Because like that is kind of like what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very demanding role in the sense that like you need to be able to like gank, you have to have mobility, you have to like be able to clear fast, like, and every patch, like there are not a lot of champions that can do every single one of those things well, right?
Yeah.
And so it usually ends up being a narrow pool patch to patch. So the fact that you bring up like boredom is like really interesting because I feel that. And I'm sure all the supports feel that too, having to play Leona every game for the last 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I love, but, that's fine.
Leona. You're a hater if you don't like Leona.
If you get,
cool.
you just got to get down to E-Flash R combo, You're good.
It's just, I mean, at that point, it's just you're doing it over and over and over again, and you just have to be okay with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a game of repetition, League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's how it always has been. It'll be that way till it dies. Maybe. I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll be there till the end of the time, probably, for Proving Grounds Pod. We're not planning on stopping anytime soon, so. But yeah, we've got your plans laid out for this entire year.
Ooh.
Well, what's up, Cubby?
I've got something. So you mentioned like walking in that you were taking a walk and like kind of getting around. So in the LA area, like I know that like once kind of COVID passes, you're like hoping to like join the team and any of that stuff, but and you talked about like how like the health person's like trying to push you guys to like have healthier habits, but how have you kind of figured out like balancing out this schedule? Like what are some of the things that like you do outside the game now to kind of find this balance, as you are somewhat as a kid in like a work-life balance situation now, right?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, I'm not really sure if it's a concern for most League players, but for me, it's getting enough sleep, not too much sleep, and like the right amount, and also sleeping at a good hour. That's been like my number one concern.
You were getting an hour of sleep?
No,
Okay.
sorry.
No,
getting it at
right
a
time
good
to
hour.
fall asleep.
At a good hour.
Oh my.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry,
Yeah. You're right. Okay. All right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're good. It's like
We're good. No. I also think eating well is also another big thing.
Yeah.
And getting enough exercise because that's just important. I've come to realize how important that is.
after this, I'm getting my 6 miles in. That's my plan for the night. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a bit much then from what I was thinking, but yeah.
Hey, everyone starts at different points, right?
Yeah.
And we're not in LA either. He's gonna go do it in the snow.
No. I have an elliptical. Yeah, we're inside. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going out and running in the snow in the dark is just not a good idea. So
Dark's not great. Honestly, cold weather running is really nice though if you have the gear. You just have
if
to.
you do it in the morning, yeah.
Yeah. Like if it's like 40 out, I'll throw on like sweats and a t-shirt and like I'll be fine. It's weird. I have a t-shirt and gloves. So my hands get cold. I look like a noob, but whatever. Yeah.
My family's a family of runners, so I know that.
Yeah.
Whenever we go on like vacation or anything together, they like have to scout out the running trail as we're driving into wherever we are because they gotta run. That's just how they are. No.
That's fun.
All right, Perry. Like I said, we talked a lot about League of Legends. I think it's time we talk about something that isn't quite League of Legends. What have you been able to do like during this off season that isn't League of Legends at all? Like what has been the thing that has like kept you sane from the game while we've had like the weeks off and everything after Scouting Grounds?
I think being able to visit my girlfriend was helpful. We're long distance, so it's kind of hard here and there. Oh, there she goes. She's also here now. So
All good.
yeah. So pretty much, I'm able to play League at her place. Like we have a setup there too. But that really helped. It's always fun to hang around your girlfriend, you know.
Yeah, good way to take your mind off things.
Yeah. At the same time, that was a kind of important week. It was like tryouts for a lot of different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think overall, like it's just it's been being able to walk, being able to go around, being able to do other things other than League. I guess playing other games here and there, watching anime, of course. I started cooking more recently again. Like I picked it up using HelloFresh. It's like those meal prep things that they just give it to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, you are like, you're speaking my language as like someone younger than me, but I cannot tell you how many friends I have that live I'm in Chicagoland area. It's like that live in the city that do HelloFresh subscriptions just to like find good recipes, like then keep them for themselves, like to cook later. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
We are not sponsored, by the way, but we could be if anyone from HelloFresh wants to. We could be sponsored.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's really cool. What do you watch? What anime do you watch?
Right now we just rewatched Steins Gate, or I did. It was her first time.
Nice.
My favorite anime is Code Geass.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
What is that about?
It's about mechs. It's pretty much this guy. He's like really smart. He's like playing chess in real life, fighting like the entire government by himself, pretty much.
Nice.
It's like the most 1v9 anime I've ever seen. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I've watched a few mech anime. I've seen a bit of like Evangelion, and I watched Darling in the Franxx as well. The ending of that, we don't have to talk about the ending, but I like the beginning of that. My spouse and I, we watched all of like Haikyuu and My Hero and Death Note together, so that was all really fun.
Yeah,
we got into that like as COVID hit because we had nothing to do. So we've been doing that together. It's been really fun. We watched all of My Hero like as it was coming out. It was really fun.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, great show. All right. We also need to know like what is your warm up game? You said you were playing other games. Some people have different games as teams. Yeah, this is actually really important. What is your warm up game for League of Legends?
ARAM buffs, something else.
You got TFT. You got some other games.
I just play, like I just queue up and I just play. I don't warm up at all. I just hop right in.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
right.
some people. I know that was like way back when. That was Dexter. Dexter was a no warm-up gamer, and he was like known for his sick Elise Lee Sin way back in the day. So yeah, everyone finds a different. They have different stuff, right?
Yeah. I guess sometimes for matches, what I do is, or even scrims here and there, if I have like a 10-minute, 20-minute period where I can't play a game, I will just hop in practice tool and just. It's pretty much almost always Lee Sin, but
Do
if
the
any other
combos.
champion.
Yeah.
I just do combos for 20 minutes and then we're chilling.
I was talking to Fnatic about practice tool, and he said his go-to practice tool champion was Varus because he likes the auto attacks.
That's a weird one.
He just buys like a million stingers and has like 2.5 attack speed and just like hits things. That's what he said.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I was
He
also
plays the jungle too. He takes smite. And he just goes and clears things with Varus.
I was like warming up with Ezreal. Ezreal has like a lot of weird combos you can do. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Some of those are like fun. Like you can you can cancel out a lot of the animations with flash. So like the R flash and like shit like that. Like I always got the fingers going for me as a support player.
I just did that in Rakan.
Oh, God.
Rakan is the champion that you want to do.
Oh, Rakan, yeah.
You can do some. Well, okay. You used to be able to do a lot of stuff with his W. They removed a lot of the like animation cancels because you used to be able to cancel the jump up with recall. So you'd W in, you'd recall, and then you'd be able to act a little faster. You didn't even need anything like an item
That's
or anything.
interesting.
But they
That's a weird one. Yeah.
So.
I always love like with Tristana too. You can like recall in the middle of rocket jump.
Yeah.
Like just the weird stuff like they just never fixed. Yeah.
I think they removed it on accident though for Rakan because you could also do it with a lot of items, and then they made all the mythics, and you can't do it with any of the mythics now.
Oh, I see.
So it's really sad. But anyway, that's practice tool. I believe we are at about an hour at this point, Perry. It's been a really fun time talking to you, man. I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. This was really cool.
Thanks
I
for
guess that's sort of the point, but
thanks for sitting down with us. And I really enjoyed it hearing. Usually I like talk to kids that are kids, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm cooking, I'm walking around, I'm like visiting a significant other. You know, it's like
you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like,
yeah. No, that's really cool, and congrats on finishing high school. Best of luck for this upcoming split, and then for everyone listening at home. Any thank yous or shout outs, and then also where can we find you? I know we got your Twitter up on the screen, but anything else you want to plug?
I mean, just thanks for all of my family for always supporting me. I have really supportive parents. My brother's always here to help me out, and all like the people, even like Max, Chad Juggle, Draxer, Vanui, Daption, all of these people, all my friends, they've always been supporting me. They've always been here for me, and it's always just helpful to have a really helpful and friendly group of people. So. Yeah.
Amazing. Very supportive, very wholesome. I love to hear that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Perry. Super excited to watch you next. For those of you listening, you'll be playing either Monday or Tuesday. I think you guys only get one of those days, or is it both? I actually don't remember.
It's the Tuesday.
I think it's the 18th.
Yeah, it's the 18th. Right. It's the Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday. For the Unified tournaments, either on Academy or Unified Live. That's next time Perry's going to be playing. You can check him out there. And for the rest of the tournament as well on Proving Grounds. Definitely check out all the Proving Grounds games. They'll be on Academy or Unified
Live. Yeah.
Unified Live. Yeah, those are the streams. And they're streaming all the games, so you can find them all there.
Yes, they are.
But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the Proving Grounds Pod. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to check us out on the other stuff that we've got Twitter at PGroundsPod, and then we have all of our audio platforms as well, including Twitch, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. You can find us out on all of those. But with that, we're going to head out. I don't know what day of the week we're actually going to do. We still haven't decided yet for a consistent schedule.
Tentatively Saturdays. Yeah.
Yes, we're thinking that we're gonna move to Saturdays because it's a crazy schedule with everything shifting around. But we're gonna try to be here for next Saturday, and hopefully we'll have another Raising NA episode with Rafa before then. He's still in Florida for now, but hopefully he'll get back home. But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Proving Grounds Pod. Have a good night.